Hender and Henderson, we're Hender and Son. Hender and Henderson, we're having some fun. With Daisy and Meadows, we're out in the sun. By working together, let's get this thing done.
Hello and welcome to The One Show.
The one-off show?
Yes, of course, The One-Off Show. I hope you enjoyed some crocodile myth busting. Of course, my team knows how to deal with me when I get a bit snappy. Snappy? Who wrote that? And as you can see, it's not just me this afternoon. I have a new co-host, and in true TV fashion, I've hired my own son. So for a lucky one-off, we are bringing you Hender and Henderson.
That's me, and I hope you like the new song that I wrote.
Yes, well, it's been a scorcher of a week across the UK with record-breaking temperatures making this the hottest May on record. At Kew Gardens in London, it was hotter than Benidorm, with temperatures soaring to 35 degrees, while over here in Bristol, we saw highs of over 31 degrees. And it wasn't just me feeling the heat on Tuesday, with the Plimsoll Bridge was forced to close after the steel overheated in the extreme temperatures.
Is the next bit me?
No, it's still me, son.
Oh, no, I haven't had any lines yet. Is my name going to come up on the screen?
No, I'm doing the introduction.
The Met Office has now issued a yellow health alert, warning people to take extra care in the sun. Because while the sunshine can be lovely, extreme heat is not something we can afford to ignore. And it doesn't just affect our health, it has a huge impact on the plants and animals around us. So, on today's programme,
we'll be finding out how to help wildlife and gardens cope in the heat, exploring how plants in our cities can actually help keep us cooler, and sharing some simple tips to help you beat the heat during what soon I'm sure will be known as Heatwave Hender. So we want to hear from you. What tips and tricks do you have to beat the heat? Do you have your feet in a bucket of water? Are you putting ice cubes down your shirt? I don't know what you're up to. But during the show, just scan the QR code on the screen and send in your pictures. We'll be showing them later in the show. We're handing over to my trusty partner, Meadows, to see how he's coping out in the urban jungle. And there he is. Meadows?
Oh, please,
Meadows?
can I have a glass of water?
Meadows?
Please, just
Meadows!
before I start the set. Oh, hello, yes, I'm Meadows. I'm a long-time associate of Mr. Hender and Mr. Henderson. Great man, Mr. Hender. And as you can see, I'm here. I've been out in the city of Bristol all day, and I've been exposing myself to the elements dutifully and respectfully to our customers so that they can see the long-time effects of heat stroke taking place over an actual person, which Mr. Hendon has said is very important for our loyal customers viewing. Oh, the air temperatures out here are surpassing 30 degrees, but as you can see, I'm in these urban heat spaces where the temperature, they hold these artificial surfaces hold them for a considerable amount longer time than their rural counterparts. Oh, there's also no vegetation around here, which would be releasing transpiration, which would cool the air and provide natural shade to shield my scorching skin from this boiling heat. Oh, Mr. Henderson's calling me. Hello? Mr. Henderson, hello? Hello? Pebbles? What? Oh, please, sir, can't I just come back now? Oh, please, Mr. Henderson, sir. Golly, I'd like a glass of water. Oh, he hung up on me. Oh, no matter. Mr. Henderson's given me an important mission. I need to go and collect some pebbles. I don't know how this is going to directly benefit me, but apparently it's very important for the greater good. He's a great, thoughtful man, Mr. Henderson. But don't worry about me. I'll complete my mission, and in the meantime, why don't you join Daisy up at her allotment? Golly, it looks a lot nicer up there.
Phew, thanks Meadows. Yeah, it certainly is hot today, but it's nice and cool here at my allotment thanks to the shade being provided by these trees and these trees
I have a whole variety of species: apples, cherry, willow. And amongst my plants, I also like to keep a real diverse amount of species. And I like to grow lots of different pollinator plants. So some of the things that people might consider to be weeds, I leave a few of those for the bees because they really like them. And I also grow other plants which are really helpful for things like fertilization. And on a hot summer's week like this one is in the heat wave, what I might do is use some of this to create a mulch, and that will help to keep my plants cool. Now, comfrey grows back really quickly, so although I'm leaving the flowery bits for the trees, I can really rip up a lot of these leaves. They'll come back in a couple of weeks, I can guarantee it. What I'm going to do is make a mulch around the plants that I know are struggling a bit, like this one. You can see it's struggling a bit because of the yellow leaves. Now, when I water, the water will go underneath the leaves and it won't evaporate as quickly, which is really helpful on a day like today. In the middle of a heat wave, water evaporates quickly. So I'm going to show you how to water now. Watering is so important during a heat wave. It could not be more important. I know farmers who water 3 times a day in a heat wave, but it's really important that you get out there at least once. And the best time of day to do it is in the morning or the evening. Now, unfortunately, we're kind of in the midday sun. So what I'm about to tell you next is even more important. I'm going to fill up this bucket and then we're going to water my sweet peas. Now, you can see that they need water because you can see these yellow leaves. But what we really don't want to do is actually pour water all over the leaves. So the motto for watering is low and slow. And what you can see where I'm catching that leaf, which isn't ideal. But what we want to be doing is getting right down around the base of the plants, plenty of water around the base. And you can see where I've used a mulch previously and where I put that mulch on just now. That's really going to help to stop the water from evaporating. And you can see how I'm catching those leaves. Well, that's probably the reason that some of them are yellow, is because I'm a little bit of a sloppy waterer. But really what we want to be doing is morning and evening, low and slow. Okay? Mulching like this can also give your plants some nutrients, and all the shade from the plants creates refuges for small insects who are also suffering in the heat. Bee abundance is actually 52 times higher on allotments than it is in other areas like urban parks and roadside verges. And part of that's to do with the diversity of species and the difference of all the types of niches that those species create. So you can see we've got shade from these big leaves. Some of the habitat's a bit more sparse. That creates different environments that create refuge points for biodiversity, especially in a heat wave like this. Having the ground covered can be really, really important. And now we'll take a look at what I consider to be the coolest place in my entire allotment. Another really important thing you can do to support biodiversity at home or in an allotment is to have a pond. But when you do have a pond, you've got to do a little bit of pond maintenance. Unfortunately, in really hot days, wait guys, there's a newt. He's just getting out, and this is why I have to be so careful. I'm going to put him back in. I like to, when I'm cleaning my pond, I just put the stuff just to the side, just for that very reason. Those animals, most of the animals that live in a pond, they can sense where water is, so they'll head back to where they know they want to be. But we don't want it to get too overgrown with all of this green stuff, because it can just strip a little bit too much oxygen from the pond. And what's also really important is to keep your pond topped up. It's really important that you dechlorinate your water by putting it somewhere first. So I filled this up the other day because we've got one other thing that we do for the pond, and that is to have a little fountain. Now, I had this, but it's a solar powered kind of fountain thing which should aerate the pond a bit, but it got really dirty, so I've given it a clean, and we're about to find out whether it worked or whether it's still filthy. and whether I'm going swimming today. There we go. That's what we want. There you go, newt paradise. There's newt more they could want. Now, I appreciate not everybody has a pond. However, you can make a water feature of any size to support the biodiversity wherever you are in the city. And Meadows, if he's not passed out from the heat, is going to show you how to do it when he gets back to the studio.
Mr. Henderson, sir? Oh, no one here. Doesn't matter. Because Mr. Henderson has given me an important mission. I've traversed the scorching city streets encumbered by the burden of my pebbly load. But now I'm going to help them. We'll use them to help cool down some bees. Bees need hydrated in the heat wave too. And although good-natured fellows in our community like to provide water for wild birds, in their haste, bees can drown in these deep dishes. Luckily, I'm going to provide them a means of escape. Don't worry, my fuzzy little friends. Through the synergy of ancient theoretical practices and modern technologies, one can provide a protruding pebbly pathway for these little critters so that they and their feathered fellows can enjoy water from the same dish in perfect harmony. I've got a funny inkling you might have seen one of these before, but a bird and bee bath. Here you can see I'm painstakingly placing each pebble into the dish. Mr. Hender insists that I need to be very precise and take a long time. He says that if the bees fail to sense the sweat and toil that goes into the placing of each pebble, then they'll drown themselves anyway in protest. And that would be all my fault. What a terrible thing to happen. Wise Mr. Hender. He's always looking out for me and the strides I should be taking in my personal development. Oh, water everywhere, but not a drop for me. When I'm home, I think I'm going to make a bee bath out of the water bowl Mr. Hender leaves for me by the end of his bed. Maybe then the bees won't sting me when he sends me to take the honey out of their hives without any of his numerous, extensive collection of personal protective equipment. They must be protected from punctures and tears, he says. He's a great, clever man, Mr. Hender. I'm so very lucky that he took me under his wing. Oh, why don't you now join Mr. Hender and Mr. Henderson live as they install some of my hard work upstairs? Don't you worry. I'm not going to be going anywhere.
So these are the bee baths that we prepared earlier. We've been out collecting rocks. So I've got these ones from my garden. That's from my rock collection, and this is from here we go, from my neighbour's driveway. But make sure you do it in the night so they don't see.
And as you can see, I've got some better bits. I've got some Moroccan ceramics, got some seashells, some imported fossils. All good stuff.
So we're out here on the Skyland where you can see it is good and bleak and hot. And the bees up here are definitely going to be overheating and in need of some good bathing water.
No wonder. It's hotter than Benidorm where I'm going after this.
Right, so we are going to put these bee baths out, and now a crucial factor that's missing is the water. So we've got a watering can. Like
you are, son. I finally trust you with one of these now.
Can I do the watering?
You can do the watering just this once.
Thank you very much, Dad. I hope I don't mess it up. We're going to just pour gently, low and slow, fill up the bee baths.
Bee bird bath, son. Come on.
In like that. Can I do yours, Dad? Is that...
Just be steady, okay?
So sorry, Dad.
Steady on.
Okay, there we go.
That'll do.
And we're not doing that. Those are my backup rocks. So what's pretty crucial is that we just have some rocks protruding from the water there so that the bees can sit on those. And we also need ones that go right up to the edge so that the bees can climb out if they get stuck. So Dad, you just need...
Don't rearrange my rock collection, right?
Just so the bees can climb out. Just like that. So, and now we're going to put them in the flowers, or by the flowers. This is so that the bees can be feeding and they can be drinking. food and water for all. Pop them in just like that. Get the big ones. They can go. I'm going to put them in the shade so the water doesn't evaporate so quickly. And then what you need to make sure of is that you come back regularly, and when you water your flowers, you water your bee baths as well, just so that the bees always have water to drink. Perfect. And where have you put your one, Dave?
I put it here. It's a centerpiece.
So it just needs to go by the...
It's a centerpiece, right?
It needs to go by the flowers where the bees go.
It's a centerpiece, right? Who's this here?
So they can also be decoration if you would like. And it's also very important in the heat not to just be taking care of the bees, but to take care of yourself as well. So you should be wearing some sun protection like that.
Certainly shouldn't have that beer.
What? Definitely not. In fact, sorry, Dad. Need to be keeping nice and hydrated. So look, we can just make sure you've got lots of water to be drinking there. That's for you. And even take a break from your work. Go sit in the shade. Go sit in the shade, thank you. But do admire that with your water, sorry, keep going, drink. You need to drink lots. So, perfect. And while we are, Dad, do you want to just join?
Oh, sorry.
Taking care of the bees, taking care of yourself, and now, bloody hell, it's hot up here. We're going to be going back to see Daisy live. She's going to be... It is a bird and bee bath, after all. So, we're going to be going back. It's stealing your shower, Dad.
We're going out to
see Daisy, who's going to be seeing how
hot it is out there.
hot it is. Thank you very much.
Goodness me, it really looks hot up on that roof there. Not like at the allotment, and it's not really like the allotment here where I am now in the middle of the city. There's a lot of different surfaces here which are all quite absorbent, not much vegetation. Different types of surface absorb heat differently, and that's why cities can get really, really hot. What I've got here is something called a pyrometer, and it's used to check the temperature of the surfaces. I've heard that trees are pretty good at keeping streets cool. What I wanted to do was check out the surface of the temperature of a surface, same type of surface without a tree, and then check it out underneath the tree. When I was coming over, I first checked the temperature of a black bonnet of a car, and I got a reading of 53 degrees. I want to be in a bath, that I don't think. So let's take a look and see what it's like on the ground here in front. Whoa! 48.5. Just 48.1. Okay, let's go and see what it's like. Same surface, same type of road. I can already actually cooler under this tree. Unbelievable. 24.8. That is so much cooler. I can't help but wonder whether the tree out it trees are hot, but let's just take a reading. No, that's not what's happening. Look, 25 degrees. So why are trees so good at keeping the air temperature cool underneath them? I feel like to answer this question, I'm going to need help from a friend of mine. I'm going to phone them now. Duncan Porter's a little bit of a climate change boffin. He went viral in 2025 when him and his wife revisited a glacier after 15 years. Only when they went back to it, it was basically all gone. He plants a lot of trees with a charity called Protect Earth. I think he might be able to tell me what's going on. Hi, Duncan.
Hey Daisy, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Can you tell me what's going on with these trees and why is it so hot underneath and where there isn't any trees, and why is it cooler under the trees?
So basically, pavement soaks up the tree's heat all day and holds onto it. So everything gets hotter in cities, like a giant storage heater. But a tree's doing several clever things at once. Firstly, it blocks the sun from hitting the heat-absorbing urban surfaces. Stuff like tarmac, roads, brick walls. By reflecting that heat back, it prevents the surface below from absorbing the solar energy and getting hotter, which keeps the ground cooler under the tree. So shade under the tree, basically. Second, and this is really cool, trees breathe out water through their leaves, almost like natural air conditioning. They pull water from the soil through their roots and they release it into the air as water vapor through microscopic pores in their leaves. The process absorbs heat, essentially sweating to cool the surrounding environment. So the air under the trees is cooler, even on a still day. And also trees just don't store heat and release it like urban surfaces, like tarmac and bricks. So you get this cooler air, cooler ground, and the tree keeps itself cool. But they can only do this if they're well watered, which is why charities and communities spend loads of time in summer watering their trees.
That's absolutely fascinating. So basically we do have to take care of the trees for them to take care of us.
Exactly.
Can I ask you something else?
Sure.
One-off show viewers have been sending us messages and photos of how they've been being the heat this week. What do you think of some of these? Ray from West Yorkshire says he's got all the windows and doors open and he's sitting in front of a giant fan. Is that a good way to cool down?
The best way to keep your house cool really is to let the cooler air in overnight and then shut your curtains and keep the sun out during the day. So even the windows open on the side of the house that has shade and not much sunlight is okay to get the fresh air in, but otherwise you're normally just letting in a lot of hot air.
So basically Ray's full of hot air.
Oh, not quite. I mean, it could be a bit cooler. It depends on the temperature outside as well, but sitting in front of a fan is also probably not the best idea for a long time. It can just dehydrate you.
That's really interesting. How about having a cold beer like Luke in Warminster?
Well, Daisy, you know I like a beer, but in this weather, it's probably not best to overdo caffeine or alcohol, really.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks, Duncan. That's been really informative. We're going to go back to the studio now where Meadows is checking out more of the city's heat-beating tactics. Thanks.
Great stuff.
All right,
Cheers.
bye.
Oh, why thank you, Daisy. Yes. Oh, I'm still here toiling away. Oh, but anyway, let's now have a look at what some of our faithful viewers, in the sense they're beating me at beating the heat. What have we got up first? Oh, look at these lovely young fellows having a lovely succulent meal. I haven't eaten in 3 days. Mr. Hender has to save his pennies and my feeding days on Sunday. Got anything? Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh, this isn't looking good for this young fellow in this picture. He clearly hasn't done much of his skincare routine. Maybe we should be considering something else that he's done. And there's another one as well. Oh God, what are these people doing, honestly? They look even worse than me. Yes, and I think he's... honestly, I've got no comment on this one. And to be... if you're going to be out in the wind and in the sun, I think, to be honest, you should kind of pick your battles in that sense. I don't think the wind and the sun's going to be doing you any favours, realistically. Go get it away, get it away. Oh, look at this lovely little Popo. Oh, look at him. He's the most fun that we've had all day. And he looks like he's keeping exceptionally cool as well. Anyway, that was truly inspiring. And what a creative and sensible collection of viewers we have. But it sounds like the great Mr. Hender might have some parting words for you. So, take care, everybody. See you later.
Do you know what, son? I've been thinking you've done a bloody good job today. And
Thank you, Dad.
I think I'm about ready to hand it over to you. I'm going to give you the one show.
Okay. Thank you, Dad. Thank you.
Well done, son.
Thank you.
I'm off. I'm getting out of this heat.
Okay. Right, I'll close up.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll see you at home.
Or Benidorm.
Come on, Meadows.
Oh, Mr. Henderson, sir, of course.
That's it, boy.
So, well, we've made it to the end of a very hot week. And on today's very special episode of the One-Off Show, we've seen how by taking care of ourselves and by watering our plants correctly and by taking care of our local insects and birds, together we can beat the heat. Thank you very much and join us next week when it won't be Hender anymore, it'll just be Henderson. What's up next? Is it the vegan food thing? God, good job my dad's not here for that. He fucking hates.
You're still alive.
No, hang on, you got the cut that. I'm not allowed to swear. I'm gonna lose my job.